What do you think of Crawford? One of the best, if not the best of this era. Him and Canelo can probably, make that claim. But what do you think of someone like Crawford going up all these weight classes, had one fight at 154, which wasn't a walk in the park by any means,
Right.
and taking on Canelo, who still Canelo.
Yeah, when I first heard about it, I actually thought it was like, they're just saying it. They're just saying it to draw attention, but they don't really mean it. But now it seems like they mean it. It's weird because back in my era, an era that I grew up in, becoming familiar with boxing, like moving up in weight was a big deal. When you moved up, when Arguello moved up to fight Pryor, that was major. It was a major thing. Duran going up, and now these guys, they just move up like it's nothing. Like, I don't know, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just saying, like, it's kind of weird that people are just moving up and down in weight, and they're just as strong or stronger and faster than they were before. Like, I remember when Duran moved up to fight Leonard, the big thing was, he's a beast, but is he going to be strong enough to fight Leonard? What is it? And then when he moved up to fight Barkley, it's like, oh man, he shouldn't do it. Now the guys are moving up and down, they're fighting everybody, and Lomachenko moved up a million weight classes, and all these guys do it. Maybe the supplements, are a
Hmm.
little better today. I don't know, but it's definitely not what I'm used to.
Do you think Crawford could beat Canelo?
You know, I, unless they see something that I don't think so. Like, and I love Crawford. I probably like Crawford better than I like Canelo as a fighter, but they always say they have weight classes for a reason.
Right.
And if they don't do a weight clause, if they don't do a thing where, like Canelo did to Kovalev, like if they don't tell Canelo, okay, well, you can weigh that, but you can't gain 10 pounds. You can't, if it's just on the up and up, it would seem to me to be a super middleweight against a welterweight.
Yeah.
I mean, what else is it? You know,
And what I've been hearing is that there is no weight class. Like there is no,
I mean,
next.
you have to, you have to, you have to say hats off to Crawford, like
Yeah.
doing that. How many guys would actually do that? You know what I mean? I wouldn't, when I was light heavy, I wouldn't go up to cruiserweight, not for any money, because the guy's just too big. Like, I want to have a chance to win. I don't want to get crushed by some guy who everybody in their right mind would have told me he's too big for me. But, and Canelo is obviously stronger than Crawford. Like, he's a stronger man, and he's overpowered light heavies,
Yeah.
and certainly super middleweights. I guess we're gonna see if skills pay the bills. If those skills, it would be amazing if Crawford could win, because it would obviously be with his skills. It wouldn't
Right.
be him smashing Canelo and overwhelming him. Uh, you know, he would prove that if you have the skills, you can get it done against a bigger man.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned you when you're a light heavyweight, not fighting cruiserweight. So, I have a long association with Richard Still. I mentioned wearing the hoodie here. He was a light heavyweight back in the day,
Yeah.
and he used to spar with Ken Norton.
Huh.
And I was at a golf tournament with them, and they were jabbing each other, verbally. And, Ken's like, there's my little dick over there, and just a bunch of laughs. And Richards, said, man, I used to run circles around you in the ring. And Ken said, yeah, but when I caught you, I knocked your ass out.
Right, right, right. Yeah.
So,
Well, it's funny. Like, a lot of fighters make a mistake. Like, they'll spar with a bigger guy, and they'll just in the gym, and they'll utilize movement, and they'll box, and they'll stay off the ropes, and then after I'll box them. They'll brag about it. Like, I go, listen, it's the gym. You did it in the gym. I guarantee you, this guy was not trying to hurt you, in like really trying to hurt you. It wasn't urgent for him. Like me, I've sparred with 100 guys, 200 guys who were smaller than me, right? and I'm working, and I'm not trying to hurt them at all. And they did good. They're hitting me, and they're fast and everything. So technically, they could tell people, yeah, I landed more punches than him. I felt good about it. Yeah, but if I was trying, it would have been a different world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, granted, with Canelo and Crawford, Crawford's a high level. This guy's Superman. At his weight. So I would say I wouldn't bet on him to win. But if anybody at that weight could do it, I would pray he'd probably be the only one. You know what I mean? I don't think even Errol Spence, when Errol was at his best, wouldn't do it because everything he is, Canelo's dad and much more. You know what I mean? But you get Crawford, if you can't hit Crawford flush and he's using his angles and all that kind of thing, it wouldn't matter how big Canelo was in those instances.
It's funny you mentioned Spence, and I'm in Dallas, so I was around his camp a lot, through the years with Derek and so forth.
Right.
And that was the talk for a long time, was Spence facing Canelo.
Right. Right.
And I remember after the fight talking to Red, Coach Red on Canelo, or I'm sorry, on Crawford's team, and saying they took that as disrespect. That here you're talking about fighting Canelo when we haven't faced off yet. And so I asked him about Crawford fighting Canelo, and he's like, no, he wouldn't advise it. And here we are 2 years later. So
Right. Well, money changes minds. you
yeah,
know.
yeah, no doubt. But I'll get you out of here, John, in a minute here with the Iceman, John Scully. Got his big fighter, pound for pound, top fighter in the world, undisputed light heavyweight, Artur Beterbiev, February 22nd against Dmitry Bivol, and what could be another fight of the year. I gotta, I know last time we spoke, I gotta talk about all the great stuff you're doing for these fighters. As I mentioned, you mentioned Ring Magazine. I saw the one that you just posted with Artur and Bivol,
Yeah.
and you have the only signature, I'm sure, on a Ring Magazine with Artur Beterbiev.
Well, it's a pullout. It's the
Oh,
pullout. It's a
oh,
poster
it's a post.
that was in the magazine, in Ring Magazine. I guess that's what they're doing now. They're in every, like, how KO has the centerfold. Well, I
Right.
guess Ring Magazine is including a pullout, a post,
Okay.
like a miniature poster, and it's Arthur and Bivol face to face. And so I'm, when I got handed it, Arthur was 20 feet away from me at that moment. I said, "Oh man, give me a pen." and I,
Right.
and I had Arthur sign it. I told Arthur, I say, I could auction this off and raise good money to help some guys. And so that's what I plan to do.
Yeah. So, and you do this, you help so many fighters, that are just down and, down in their luck, John, and,
Right.
going through tough times. Talk about when you started this and just, you
Right.
know, how you've been being able to continue it for such a long time.
Well, what happened, as I recall, what happened was about 9 years ago, the hurricane hit Puerto Rico, and Wilfred Benitez, the power went out at his house, and they needed a generator. And his sister put a notice up saying, "Hey, we need some help. Can anybody help?" And so I said, "Oh man, I could raise some money, whatever." And so I put it on Twitter. I believe it was Twitter, and I put it on Facebook, and I also put it on Twitter. And Max Kellerman, and I think he didn't want this out there, but he deserves it, right? Like you don't need to be humble all the time. He sent me a message. It was $10,000, right?
Wow.
He sent me a message and he said, "Hey, how much do they need?" And I said, "Oh, 10,000." He goes, "Oh, I'd like to donate." I said, "Oh, here's his sister's." I think I sent him his sister, Wilfred's sister's PayPal. 5 minutes later, she calls me. Her name's Yvonne. She calls me. She says, "Hey, John," she doesn't know. She's like, "Some guy named Max just paid for the whole thing. He just sent all the money." I said, "Oh, that's Max. He was on ESPN, but she doesn't follow boxing. She doesn't know. But he paid for the whole thing." And right then, I was like, "This is insane. Like, there's people out there who really care, like, about strangers. Like, he knows who Benitez is, but I'm sure they're not friends. And I think that was the catalyst. That was what pushed me into doing this. And on that end, just 2 weeks ago, less than 2 weeks ago, I was able to send Bobby Ches. I assume you heard about his issue. Now he's got cancer, and
Yeah, yeah.
me and Christy Martin sent me a glove. She said, "Oh, put this up, see if you can help Bobby." She likes Bobby. I said, "Let me do it." I got $2,000 for Bobby Chess, and I sent him
Wow.
2,000, and he needed it because he needs to take an Uber to his appointments and all that type of his treatments and everything. So, I've been helping a lot of guys. The main ones that people know about is Wilfred Benitez, Gerald McClellan, and Pritchard Cologne. There's a bunch of others, but those are the three that are, the
And like,
situation is there.
and you mentioned Wilfred. I mean, amazing talent. I think
Right.
he was the youngest welterweight champion at the time.
The youngest ever champion.
Yeah, and I was a Sugar Ray guy. That was my guy. Growing up.
Right.
But did you even know him
I
personally?
had never met him at that time. No,
Yeah.
I've met him twice since then. I visited him at his house in Puerto Rico, and then when they moved to Chicago, and met him at his house in Chicago. But I never actually met him before that. No,
Right.
but honestly, people give me credit. They go, "Oh, it's unbelievable what you do. It's awesome." And honestly, it's not that big of a deal. Like I don't even deserve that much credit because it's so easy. Like, I have connection with guys, right? I know Roy Jones, I know James Tony, I know different people. I have them sign stuff. I know because I'm a fan. I know what fans want. I know
Right.
you want an 8x10 picture. I know you want a magazine signed. I know you want a program signed. I know you want a poster, and I know you want a glove. I know what you want. I can get it. Now I get it. Selling it is easy. People want this stuff. And so it's kind of like getting something credit for something that's really easy. Like I'm actually disappointed, and I'm not calling people out but by name, but there's a lot of people in the game who have even more access than I do, maybe. And they could get memorabilia signed by the same people I do, but more of them, and they're not doing it. And even some guys, like, just throwing it out there. Just a hypothetical, right? Say Tyson, De La Hoya, even Jake Paul, guys with the high income level and stuff. Imagine if these guys said, "Hey, we're gonna have a website. We're gonna sell 8x10 photos of us, and the proceeds are going to go to Gerald McClellan, Wilfred Benitez, Pritchard Cologne, and whoever else. And all you got to do is go online, pay for it, order it. I'll sign it. I'll send it to you." Why can't we do that?
Yeah.
It'd be a joke. It'd be so ridiculously easy. It would be so easy. Like right now, I'll tell you how easy it is. And I'm not exaggerating at all. If a former champion called me right now and said, "Hey, John, I need $500, man. I gotta pay this bill, or they're gonna shut my heat off." I would put a glove up on my Facebook and say, "Hey, everybody," and I would tag a bunch of the regulars. I say, "Hey, everybody, look, this champ is in big trouble, man. We gotta help him. Somebody gotta buy this glove, right?" I would get that $500 in one day.
Hmm.
One day. Fans are helping me more than the actual stars of the game are. You know
Right.
what I mean? Now, it's not their duty. It's not their problem. They don't have to do it. But man, I would think they'd want to. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I'll tell you this much. This is it in a nutshell. If I was a millionaire, if I was a multimillionaire, if I was Jake Paul, if I was Floyd Mayweather, Wilfred Benitez, Pritchard Cologne, and Gerald McClellan would never have to worry about anything for the rest of their life. I would pay their mortgages off immediately. I would make sure they had food come in, and every month I would make sure that any medication was paid for. Like, it would be nothing to me. It would be nothing. I would
Right.
do it in a heartbeat. I don't know why some of the big names have not gotten together and done the same thing. I don't understand it. I don't, and because let's be real, like, it could have been them. It
Yeah.
easily could have been them that need
True.
this money, and maybe someday it will be them. I might be raising money for one of these guys. But if they if they know how easy it is and they're not doing it, even knowing that, I find it hard to believe.
Well, man, I mean, every time I talk to you, I'm going to bring it up, and I hope, this will raise awareness. Hopefully someone like that will see it, and uh, it'll raise awareness and do
Yeah,
it. I know I got one of the Gerald McClellan. I mean, I remember him growing up, and what a beast he was. I got
yeah.
one of your posters off of one of those.
Oh, did you get the drawing?
Yes, the
Okay,
drawing.
well, let me tell you what I just did. I just occurred to me 2 days ago. I have 3 drawings left. I called Lisa 2 days ago and I said, "Hey, crazy question, but can Gerald sign his name? Because Wilfred can't, right?"
Yeah.
And I just assumed Gerald couldn't. And she's like, "No, he can." I said, "Really?" I said, "Listen, I have 3. Let me mail these to you." I just mailed them today, like 4 hours ago. I said, "Let me mail you these things. Do a video of him signing them."
Mm,
I said, "I'll get you money. I'll get you some money to help you out for sure." And so I mailed them today. So I'm going to have her, what I'll probably do is put them up as an auction. And I will have her, like, say a guy named Bob wins it. I will have her say, "All right, Bob, this is Gerald signing the poster to you. And I'm going to mail it to you tomorrow."
right.
So, I think fans would love that.
Yeah.
A Gerald McClellan autograph obviously has to be rare because he was only in the spotlight he was only a champion for like 2 years.
Yeah.
I think he beat Jackson in '94, and then he got hurt in '95 or '96. '95, it was '95. So, yeah, so I think that's going to be very helpful for sure.
Yeah. I didn't even think of if it was signed or not. I mean, I know I have it, but
Yeah, there wasn't signed because
yeah.
it was just a bunch of that I got directly from the artist.
Mm,
Uh, and it didn't occur to me till 2 days ago. I said, "Man, I wonder if Gerald could sign his name. Like, that'd be amazing." And sure enough, she said he can.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll get mine signed from
Right,
you.
right, right.
Not to dwell on it, but like Donald Curry out here
Yeah.
has been, he's dealing with some stuff, and I know his son put something out there recently, and I saw Mauricio Solomon, WBC president, saying that they offered to help, but I guess Donald, maybe pride, I don't know, said he didn't
Yeah,
want the
I
help.
had heard, well, I helped Donald a little bit months ago.
Okay.
But yeah, I had heard that but look, you know what? Pride, there's a time and place for pride, but
Yeah.
if you need it, you need it. You know what I mean? Like it's not even a secret anymore. You know what I mean? Like people know. There's
Yeah.
been articles in magazines and newspapers about his situation. And the people that are taking care of him, they need help. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like Lisa, she still got to pay the light bill. She still got to pay for food, but she can't work. She can't leave him alone. And it would cost, I guess the insurance had, I don't know the details, but I guess the insurance had run out, and I wouldn't, if you're able bodied, this is a whole other topic, but I certainly wouldn't put a family member in a convalescent home.
Yeah.
From what I know about convalescent homes and dealing with my father, who was in one for a little bit, I I might end up going to prison one day for stuff they do in the convalescent home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
No doubt. And, I've gotten to see him over the years here in Dallas at some shows and stuff, and such a nice guy and very approachable and everything, but it's just a sad
yeah,
situation.
yeah, for
But
sure.
listen, John, I mean, yeah, so if anyone can donate out there, I know you're putting it out on social media, Facebook all the time. And this will be on, FightHype, Fight News, some of the biggest platforms out there in the world. But listen, man, what should we expect? Saturday, February 22nd, rematch. This is going to go down. This is a fight that goes down in history. These
Yeah,
guys for undisputed, 4 months apart, like you said, what should we expect?
I mean, I think you're going to expect more action. More like it's not gonna maybe it might not be such a technical fight this time. Like because somebody has to be definitive, and Artur recognizes that. And now he's more than willing to be more definitive. I don't know if Bivol wants to do that. I don't know. I think Bivol wants to win. He's coming to win, and he's gonna do it. But when it comes down to it, I don't know if he wants to do what Artur would have to do would do to win. We'll see.
Can't wait, man. Got it on the calendar. Boxing's in a good place, and good luck February 22nd.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll talk again soon, John.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right.